Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So how are you all? I hope you guys are doing really well. You guys are keeping safe. You are at your home at safe places and you are utilizing the best of time nowadays by studying. So this is another lecture under the series of NABARD Grade A 2020. It's a revision series, as you all know. This is your lecture number 22nd in this series. So today we'll be discussing ARD schemes part 2. ARD schemes part 1 was the previous lecture in which we discussed mostly the schemes from the state governments. Today we'll be discussing some important schemes. They will not be related to state governments. Okay, so let's start here. Here is to boost you up. Here is the result produced by EduTapians. So in 2019, NABARD Grade A 25 selections, 41 seats were there. NABARD Grade B 8 seats, 4 selections. You see, such a brilliant result we have. Then RBI Grade B, till now 215 plus interview calls have been got to the EduTapians. And similarly for 2018 also we have brilliant results in all the three examinations: NABARD Grade A, SEBI Grade A, RBI Grade B. I hope this boosts you up, that you are getting the right guidance. If you prepare well, if you are working hard and you are getting the right guidance, you will definitely crack the examination. So chalo fir let's start with the question. Today we are going to discuss some very important schemes related to ARD section. As in the phase 1 examination we have seen that the schemes, not only the ones which have been released recently are important, but old schemes are also important. Now how do you know old schemes are important? The schemes which are relevant even today, they are getting budgetary allocation even today, they are in news, they are important. Okay, so let's start with your question. Which of the following is or are the objectives of Operation Greens, which was announced in the budget speech of 2018-19? So in the budget speech of 2018-19, Operation Greens was announced. So you have to identify the objective of this particular Operation Greens. To promote FPOs, that is farmer producer organizations, logistics, processing facilities and professional management. Second is to stabilize the supply of tomato, onion and potato crops and to ensure the availability of these crops throughout the country round the year without price volatility. Third is setting up of a market intelligence network to collect and collate real-time data on demand and supply and price of top crops. And fourth says both 2 and 3. Fifth option says all of the above. So Operation Greens is a very important operation. It was the name has been taken on the lines of Operation Flood that was launched for milk. So on those lines this operation has been launched. So the correct answer is option 5. All these three are the objectives of Operation Green. Basically, the baseline is to tackle the price volatility which is associated with these basic crops: tomato, onion, potato. So three most important ingredients of Indian kitchen. These to tackle the volatility round the year, because it was observed that the volatility of the prices of onion, tomato and potato, these actually shake the economy somewhere, households economy. So to tackle this, this scheme was launched. Let's read about objective of Operation Greens. Enhancing the realization of top farmers by targeted interventions to strengthen the top production clusters and their FPOs and linking them with the market. Second is the price stabilization for producers and consumers by proper planning of the production in the clusters where they are raised. Reduction in the post-harvest losses by the creation of farm gate infrastructure. This is very important. It was because these are perishable items, right? So the harvest losses are a lot in India because obviously the storage infrastructure is not there. So creation of farm gate infrastructure, development of suitable agro-logistics, creation of appropriate storage capacity, linking the consumption centers. This was considered very important. Next to our increase in food processing capacities and value addition in the top chain. Then setting up of a market intelligence network to collect and collate the data so that demand and supply can be brought on a single page. So these are the 5 objectives of Operation Greens, which was announced in the budget speech of 2018-19. The idea is to tackle the price volatility which is surrounding the tomato, onion, potato. Fine. So this is about Operation Greens. Let's move to your next question. Acha guys, I hope you're not finding any kind of disturbance in the current lecture today. Next question: which of the following is the nodal agency to implement the price stabilization measure under Operation Green? This is also important. You must know who is the nodal agency for the implementation of such important operation. Is it APIDA, Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Agency, FCI, that is Food Corporation of India, NAFED, National Agriculture Cooperative Market Federation of India, NABARD, National Bank for Agri and Rural Development, or none of the above? The answer is NAFED, that is Operation 3. It's not FCI. Most of you get confused and associate the Operation Green thing with FCI. FCI is the statutory body which is responsible for providing the food grains to the states. So FCI is not the answer, rather NAFED is the answer. And you must also know what does this acronym NAFED stands for. So moving to question third, soil health card scheme has been launched by government to ensure soil fertility. Which of the following statements is incorrect regarding soil health cards? So soil health card scheme is also an important scheme. I can remember a question related to this scheme. It was about the slogan of the scheme. I think in 2019 it was asked. So we will get to know the slogan, but let's see the question. You have to identify the incorrect statement regarding SHCs. It is provided to marginal and small farmers of the country. It is printed. It is not about the scheme, you see. The question is about soil health cards only. Do not get confused. So it's a printed report card which contains nutrient status of soil with respect to 12 nutrients. It helps farmers to improve soil health, ultimately leading to increase in the productivity. It is provided to the farmers at an interval of every 2 years, or none of the above. What do you think is the correct answer? Is actually the correct answer in the terms of incorrect statement. So answer is, it is provided to marginal and small farmers of the country. It's very difficult. Why would the health of the soil would be considered only for the small and marginal farmers? It's not right. So option 1 is incorrect. It is provided to all the farmers of the country. It is not restricted to small marginal farmers. Okay. So soil health card was launched in the year 2015, a very important scheme. The ministry is Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and slogan is Swasth Dhara Khet Hara. So the question in the exam I can remember was what is the Swasth Dhara Khet Hara is the slogan of which of the following schemes? So you must know these slogans also. So this is the scheme of soil health card launched in the year 2015. Okay. I'll tell you the features also. It is provided to all the farmers of the country and not small and marginal only. It's a printed report card which contains the nutrient status of soil with respect to 12 nutrients. This you must know. How many nutrients? 12. What are these? pH, electrical conductivity, organic carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, zinc, boron, iron, manganese, copper. These are the things which will be measured. And in this there is a scenario that if a farmland is there, then the soil is taken from 4 corners of the land and the middle of the land, because the sample have to be taken, and it should not be the case that from one particular area the sample has been taken and the rest of the area has been left because of the difference in the soil. So 4 corners of a plot of farm, the soil sample is taken along with the middle, exactly center of the plot. Then it is provided to the farmers at an interval of 2 years. Earlier it was provided at an interval of 3 years, but now it has been made 2 years. Acha guys, I just want to tell you that this lecture is being recorded from home, so probably you can find a bit of disturbance in the lecture due to the same. Okay, due to the current situation, we are not able to record the lectures from our office. We have shifted to our home, so please ignore that. I apologize. Okay, coming to question 4. Gobardhan scheme has been launched in April 2018 at NDRI Karnal. This scheme comes under which of the following ministries? So NDRI, National Dairy Research Institute, is in Karnal, Karnal is in Haryana. So the question is that Gobardhan scheme, first of all, you get to know from the question itself that it was launched in the year 2018. So question is, it is under which of the following ministries? Ministry of Jal Shakti, Ministry of Petroleum Natural Gas, Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, or Ministry of Agri and Farmers Welfare. Probably you would go with option 5, but that is not the true answer. Okay, that is why this question is here. Gobardhan scheme was launched in 2018. First, this you have to know. Second, it was launched in NDRI, which is in NDRI Karnal, which is in Haryana. Third, the ministry you have to know. So the ministry is Ministry of Jal Shakti. Yes, Ministry of Jal Shakti. Erstwhile Ministry of Drinking Water was the ministry which launched this particular scheme. Now, what does Gobardhan stands for? This you also must know. Galvanizing Organic Bio-Agro Resources Fund Scheme. So Gobardhan scheme. So many takeaways from this question itself: launch year of the scheme, under which ministry is it, where was it launched, and what is the acronym of the scheme. Okay. Next question. Question number 5. Period of Rashtriya Gokul Mission is from 2014-15 to dash. So you have to tell the period of this particular mission. It started in 2014-15 and it is going to be till 2021, 2017-18, 2019-20 or 2021 and 22 or none of the above. This is also important. Okay, this tells you, from this question you get to know that you have to know all the dimensions of a particular scheme. If the launch year is important, but if there is some target year, then that target year must be known by you. The ministry must be known by you. Who are going to be the beneficiaries of the scheme? This you must know. What is the target? What are the objectives? All these things which are important. Okay. So Rashtriya Gokul Mission is, the project period is from 2014-15 to 2019-20, and this is the reason this particular mission is important, because this year it is going to be completed. Most probably there can be an extension also, but it is going to be there till 2019-20. So it was launched in December 2014. As I told you, all the dimensions given here. Ministry is Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry, Dairying. So these ministries have been clubbed together. This is a new ministry. It is going to be Rashtriya Gokul Mission is going to be under this ministry. Project period is 5 years, 14-15 to 2019-20, and the total outlay was 2025 crore. This was the total outlay. Guys, I want to clear one confusion here. Two outlays are there in which you get confused. One is the total outlay of the scheme, and second is which is announced in the budget, that is for that particular year. Okay, so an yearly or annual outlay and the total outlay. So this 2025 is the outlay which was announced in the year 2014-15. Okay. And this scheme, Rashtriya Gokul Mission, has been launched for the development and conservation of indigenous breeds through selective breeding, especially for the genetic upgradation of the low milk yield bovine population. I hope everything related to this question is clear now. From one question, see, you are getting information related to 4 questions. Okay. Taking you to next question. Okay guys, we are also offering an off of 50%. You have the golden opportunity to avail the discount. Use this coupon code NABARD50 and visit our website. You can buy the course there. Okay, next question. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Utthan Mahabhiyan scheme for farmers has been launched by which ministry? So PM Kusum, the scheme launched in the year 2019, July 2019 this was announced, and it is a very, very important scheme, guys. First of all, you have to know what does PM Kusum stands for. So Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Utthan Mahabhiyan. This question has already been asked in NABARD. Okay. Second is, it has been launched by which ministry? Ministry of Earth Sciences, Ministry of Agri Farmers Welfare, Ministry of New Renewable Energy, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and none of the above. See, Urja Suraksha, so Kisan and Urja Suraksha, even if you do not know the answer, I think by the logic you would go with option 2 or 3. Rest you can remove. So the logic, if you used from the name, then it is right, and the correct answer is MNRE ministry, that is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, option 3. It has not been launched by Ministry of Agri and Farmers Welfare. Next question. The PM Kusum scheme aims to add solar and other renewable capacity of 25,750 megawatt by the year. So, which year you have to tell that solar and renewable capacity of 25,750 megawatt is to be added by PM Kusum scheme? Answer is 2022. So 2022 is a very important year. It's a target year for many schemes. Housing for all is 2022, and other a lot of schemes we read about them, of a doubling of farmers income 2022. So this solar energy also target is 2022. Last question of the lecture, guys, related to the PM Kusum scheme only. To install solar panels under the Kusum scheme, farmers have to pay how much percentage of the total cost of equipment? So yes, you have to tell what is the percentage distribution of the share of the farmers given for the equipment cost. 30%, 10%, 70%, 50% of none of the above. 10%. Only 10% has to be paid as a nominal charge for the cost of the equipment. The rest is paid by the government. This is what PM Kusum scheme is. Okay. So that's it, friends. All important questions we have covered today related to many schemes. So we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow your lecture would be on ARD static. Okay. I hope that you are preparing really well. You are utilizing the time nowadays. And in case of any query, you know what to do. Just drop us a mail at hello@edutab.co.in. And if you are new here, you have not seen the previous lectures, guys, I would recommend you to go back and see the previous 21 lectures also, because they are going to be definitely helpful to you for the upcoming examination of phase 2. And visit our website www.edutab.co.in. If you have not bought our course, you can see the course offerings and then buy the course with the offer available currently, NABARD 50 coupon code. That's it, friends. I'm signing off, wishing you all the very best, wishing you happy learning. Stay safe, stay home, and that's it, guys.